Don't worry about that.
Okay, it's officially 9:30. We call the meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Take the roll, please.
Commissioner Look.
Here.
Commissioner West. Here. Commissioner Silveraja.
Here.
Commissioner Meisner.
Here.
Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte.
Here.
First item is tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Represent you.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner. Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte. Commissioner Look.
Motion carries. Then we have review of checks issued from Finance and Central Services and from Human Services. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Then we have approval of the minutes from the February 12th County Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Schulte, second by Commissioner Look. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Under Chair's remarks, we have just one item this morning. It's no secret that this board is committed to bolstering economic development. In 2017, we teamed up with Connexus Energy and the Metro North Chamber of Commerce, as well as some of our local cities, to form the Anoka County Regional Economic Development Partnership to work collaboratively on how to better attract, retain, and grow business within our area. Since then, a lot has happened, including selecting a nationally recognized firm, 80 Advantage, to conduct really an in-depth survey and study to prepare strategic analysis, identifying what our strengths were, our weaknesses, challenges, and opportunities. We also determined 3 actionable goals as the first steps. We had a marketing and readiness and alignment areas that we focused on. And then another important effort was hiring a full-time economic development specialist to work with all Anoka County communities and really act as that point person to develop, implement, and promote projects within our area. And so Jaquel is the person that we hired for that position. More recently, the marketing committee and the full group has been working on a new logo, which we have developed. And just last week, we launched a new website in order to be able to attract businesses, which is very exciting. We all know that many times site selectors will take a look at the website of a community, see if there is a reason for them to just discard and not go any further. If we don't have the information out there and available, it's easy to say, okay, we're going to move on to the next opportunity. So having all the information readily available is critically important so that we can even get to that next step in order to be able to effectively compete. So at this time, I would like to invite our guests from the Anoka County Regional Economic Development Initiative, Lori Higgins of Metro North Chamber of Commerce, Bruce Saylor of Connexus Energy, and Jaquel Hader, our Economic Development Specialist, to talk about where we've been, where we're headed, and the real momentum that is happening with this effort. So welcome.
Good morning, and thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about this initiative. We are just so proud of where we've been and where we're going. So I was asked this morning to give just a very brief summary of where we've been over the past 2 years, and then Jaquel will talk a little bit more about where we're at right now and then where we're going, and Bruce will wrap it up. So just to echo your comments, Commissioner Silveraja, we started this formally in early 2017 as a partnership with the county, the Metro North Chamber, and Connexus Energy to figure out how we can best work together to actively promote Anoka County as a great place to do business. We all know it is, but we want to figure out how can we better communicate that to our current businesses and other businesses who we'd want to attract to this area. So we started off by finding an unbiased opinion to assess the county for our strengths and our opportunities, and 80 Advantage did that for us throughout 2017. In December of that year, they released a 200-plus page roadmap, which really detailed where we needed to go. And so we've been actively using that. It was not a study that we funded and put on a shelf. It was a study that we are actively using through the committees that were referenced earlier. We are working on the 3 strategic goals that were identified, working on the perception of Anoka County, getting our sites and our talent ready, and to better align ourselves on economic development roles, everyone who is in that space. And in 2018, we started working on the marketing directives from that roadmap by putting together some target industry profiles, by looking at a new logo, branding, a website. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that throughout this time, we were very active in partnering with all 21 municipalities within Anoka County to make sure that this was successful. It would not be what it is without their support to ensure that this was meeting their needs and helping them with their own strategic plans for economic development. And I wanted to give a nod to Bruce Saylor, who worked very hard in working with all of those 21 communities throughout 2017 and 2018. And then another important outcome from that assessment was the need to hire a full-time person dedicated to economic development. And so could not be more pleased to be working with Jaquel now, who is leading this initiative and really ensuring that it goes forward and meets with success. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jaquel to talk about where we're at now and where we're going.
Thank you, Lori, and good morning. So I wanted to kind of show you some of this work that's been done in the last 6-7 months. A lot of visual items. The marketing subcommittee, as we mentioned, was strategized at looking at a logo along with executive committee that represents our region, that really shows what we're looking at for development, what our assets are. So on the screen you'll see it kind of represents the opportunities from a land perspective with the rolling hills and the kind of skyline in the back line, our proximity to Minneapolis. And with that, we've been working really hard on a regional profile. This is a profile that we can use as kind of a marketing tool. Our communities can use it as well. So if businesses come looking, developers come looking, come and request information from me, it's a one, document information sheet that I can provide that shows our assets, where we're located, taxes, incentives, what it's like to live here for employees, and also what it's like as a entertainment perspective. Again, once they're here, what's the quality of life? And information about doing business. So what are our strategies with that? We look at what are our costs for labor, what are our costs for transportation in the area. So people really get a quick picture. Something I've heard before is site selectors like to rule communities out or sites out within 30 seconds. We've heard that from site selector consultants. So this is our information that we're putting out there, so we aren't ruled out. So they know our full picture. As Commissioner Savaraj had mentioned, we had launched our website just in the last week. This is a website I wanted to showcase for everyone that hasn't seen it yet. I know I sent out information here. So on the website here, it's anokacountysuccess.org. And this is, if you Google Anoka County Economic Development, you will find our regional profile up here at the top. You'll find kind of our key information sheet. This is showing our proximity to local regions such as Chicago and North Dakota. Sites and building is the most important asset that we have moving forward. We've been working really hard. I use this access almost daily for project requests. So this is any live property updated information from the commercial real estate world. So when businesses are looking for sites, it's not like finding Zillow or Stately or these online residential resources. It's really tough to locate that information and also understand zoning regulations. So I come in as a point person to help regulate that, but this information is also available online, along with featured properties, again, properties that the cities have identified and the readiness subcommittee have identified as key opportunities, either large building vacancies, key land opportunities on strong corridors. These will be changed out every other month or so. The readiness subcommittee has some priorities they set forward with me that I look at when developing what sites we should put on the website. Living here, again, different information about what it's like to live in the great county of Anoka, what assets we have here as a region. Doing business is where they can find out more about, again, the tactical information that is readily available on here, such as, what are our assets, our strongest, economy here, 7th best in the state. Built for business, again, information that you'll see wages, helps people understand what our picture looks like here, what's the incentive to come to Anoka County versus another portion of our state or portion of our entire nation. workforce information is available. Again, we have so much assets in this region, but having it all in one spot is something we haven't done before. You may have been able to navigate through 10 different websites maybe to find it. And then also a point person contact here on the website, and recent news, putting that information about great projects happening, kind of overcomes that perception issue that maybe we have sometimes of, what's happening in Anoka County, what are the strengths, and now you can paint a clearer picture when you click on this page. So something I'm very excited and pleased to showcase here as we move forward. Click through these. Also, another asset we'll be using is LinkedIn. It's a social media presence. A lot of real estate professionals, site selector professionals can find out information on our region, recent news, and we can also track how we're targeting that audience. And moving forward, we'll be tracking project leads with the executive committee. We, update monthly on where we're at with projects and who's looking at our region, so we can really see what we're doing here. Also looking at the website and LinkedIn, who's using it, how are we attracting the audience digitally. And then also the small city projects. Some cities are interested in doing a little more locally, and alongside using my staff help or using the AC Red marketing strategy. So those are projects I give our group updates on. Very positive feedback. All 21 communities are really excited about the initiative. We have almost weekly conversations with most of them at this point. And so moving forward, there's a lot of great energy right now. We have this resource online, which is phenomenal. But I'm going to let Bruce step in and talk about a separate exciting initiative that we've been working on as a group that just shows how our partnership can take form and dictate not the good word, also strategize on new relationships and really use this information and put our best foot forward. So another opportunity to bring in Bruce Saylor to talk about a next partnership moving forward.
Thanks, Chico.
Thank you.
And one of the initiatives that we're starting now that we have Anoka County really in an alignment, we've got 21 communities that are behind this. It's exciting to see their excitement in moving forward. So we have a great foundation to start with. And with that, Connexus Energy, we're going to be launching a new initiative along with Anoka County and Washington County called the Minnesota Technology Corridor. And this is a result of an effort over last few years. We've done some projects with some large data centers looking at relocating or building a new facility in the North Metro area. And Anoka County has some remarkable assets on the eastern side along the 35E corridor. And taking a step back, we thought, why can't we package this together and really promote this nationally through Greater MSP, DEED, and Great River Energy to market this area. So we've got this partnership we've formed with Anoka County and Washington County. We've got cities of Lino Lakes, Centerville, Columbus, Hugo, and Forest Lake all working together on this region. It's a great collaboration looking at what can we do to aggressively promote this region nationally. Again, we're going to be leveraging our relationship with Greater MSP, DEED, Great River Energy, and we want to attract companies, not just data centers, but companies that need high energy capacity, high bandwidth, talented workforce, and it's close to MSP. All of these are key assets to national site selectors when they go nationally. Got the cities here. So we've put together a concept fact sheet, we call it, and video, and we call it the Minnesota Technology Corridor. We've already purchased the domain name, and we really want to focus on these assets of this area. Number one, and probably the most important to a lot of national site selectors, is collaboration. They've talked about horror stories where they've tried to locate a business to an area where cities are fighting against each other and counties are fighting against each other. They now rate collaboration as the number one thing that they look for when they move into an area, and we have a strong collaboration effort. Available property. In this particular corridor, we have over 1,000 acres from 25-acre sites all the way up to 250-acre sites with the benefit of minimal landowners. There's some projects that have tried to land in southern Minnesota with 8 different owners, and it's difficult to bring them all together. But with these projects, there's just a handful of owners, which makes it a very valuable region. Connectivity with Zayo and other fiber carriers in the area, they have high bandwidth available. They say basically it's unlimited bandwidth that we can build to your site within months. Energy, of course, Conexus Energy, we provide great energy to the region, but it's a highly reliable source. We're also partnering with Xcel Energy in this particular region. Water capacity, again, is high, depending on which location they have, but we feel that we have significant water and sewer capacity. And the workforce. We have a highly talented workforce in Anoka County. And as a result of the ADDI report, we've identified we have 120-some thousand people leaving Anoka County to work in other counties. We can retain those people within Anoka County. So this is just a concept of what we put together. Last fall, Conexus Energy, we put together a concept video just to get our arms around it and to help show others what we're going to be doing. But our plan is to develop another website just for this corridor, and we hope to launch some type of a video similar to this that we can send to national site selectors to take a look at. So this is the concept video.
Sorry.
It was a good video.
There we go.
So along with this task force, we have a group of advisors that we meet with, including the cities, and one of them is a national site selector for data centers. And he said we've hit it out of the park with this, that once we put this together, this is going to be a great story that we're going to be able to share what we have right here in Anoka County. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the wonderful partnership and really for your leadership as well. Could not have done this without really everybody coming together. I don't know how many of you noticed the battery storage piece of that video, which there are a number of companies where the renewable energy piece is really important to them when they're looking at locations. So the partnership that we have with Conexus, if you may recall, we actually leased the property to them so that they could develop the solar energy with the battery storage. So fun just to see that that actually has other very positive effects as well in hopefully attracting additional businesses to the region. I also wanted to mention that the Anoka County Regional Economic Development Partnership was just honored with a 2019 Economic Development Association of Minnesota Award during the EDM Winter Conference, which I had the honor of attending. Bruce Saylor was nominated for the very key role that he played in really getting the partnership started. As was mentioned earlier, he literally had conversations with all 21 communities to really get them on board. And so he accepted the award on behalf of the partnership. So I think this award really highlights the effort to put Anoka County on the map, and it shows that we really see economic development as vitally important to our future. So again, thank you so much and congratulations.
It's a team effort.
Any comments or questions? Commissioner?
Madam Chair, I'd just comment how proud I am of not just this county board, but of our partnership with the Chamber and with Connexus to actually walk the walk and not just talk it. It's easy to say you're business friendly. It's easy to say we are easy on business, we keep taxes low. It's a whole nother thing to get to this level where you're actually working and entertaining meetings and spending time making sure you're doing things right, engaging national associates to make sure you're doing things right. And I'm proud of this partnership. I'm proud to have been a part of it, and I'm proud of this county board for taking that step.
Yeah, just commentary, again, echoing the positive things that this is doing. And actually, I remember when Lori Higgins, when this first came out, and I just loved that she said that this study is not going to stay on the shelf. And so thank you for the initiative and the creativity, and as you mentioned, Jaquel, the collaboration of that this takes to make it successful. Thank you.
Again, the cities as well are a key partner, and it really takes a lot of leadership on their part as well. And city representatives have chaired and co-chaired each of the committees as well. So they are heavily invested with both time and resources as well. So appreciate that as well. So thank you so much. Now we will move on to committee reports. Commissioner West, Management Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The items on my report are informational, and that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Now we'll move on to Transportation Committee Chair report.
Madam Chair, thank you. The Transportation Committee had an opportunity to meet on February 19th, but no official action was taken for lack of a quorum. We did, however, go through every item in detail and get some good information, so I'm here to present some of that to you today for your action. First, in the Highway Division, as the chair of the Transportation Committee, I would recommend we approve a resolution authorizing Anoka County to enter into a local road improvement program agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for the realignment of West Freeway Drive between a point 3,500 feet north of 147th Avenue and Lake Drive in the city of Columbus.
And I will offer the resolution.
I'll second. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Further discussion.
Madam Chair, I would just remind people this is our bridge project over 35 over in Columbus, the Highway 97 bridge, or 23 on the Anoka County side. But this is the frontage road on the west side of the freeway. It comes up to a new roundabout on Lake Drive, and it's on schedule and looking good at this point, and kind of excited for its completion ultimately.
And I would just remind folks that we're able to do this project because of the support of our legislators who were able to secure the necessary funding for us. And certainly want to recognize those who I think really went to bat for us and exhibited a lot of leadership in helping us to secure those funds. Representative Bob Detmer, who actually represents Washington County now, but he actually carried the legislation. Senator Michelle Benson carried the legislation in the Senate. Senator Housley was also on the bill. And then Representative Erdahl, who was chair of the Capital Investment Committee, and Representative Doubt, who was then Speaker Doubt, really made sure that this project was in the final bill. And so I want to recognize them for that. I think, many times counties go to the state and ask for funding, and then years later, you see a project move forward. Typically, when Anoka County goes to the legislature and asks for funds, we are ready to hit the ground running. And so this is a prime example of that. The funds were approved. We are already awarding the bids, and construction will start this spring and hopefully be completed this fall. So the project will definitely be completed this year.
And Madam Chair, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our partners at the Minnesota Department of Transportation. Many times on a project like this, we're at odds on what the ultimate project should look like. We were in the beginning. They wanted a pretty basic bridge that was just like the one that was there. But that would have made it structurally deficient in our mind and certainly capacity deficient. And so we worked with them closely and they worked with us and not as an impediment. They were there to make sure this project could happen. And although it's a cumbersome process when you work with a state agency, I think they did a really good job for us and look forward to continue partnership with MnDOT.
Right. And roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja. Aye. Commissioner Meissner. Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
As the chair of the committee, I recommend approval of a resolution authorizing acquisition of right-of-way for the construction of traffic control signal at a southbound right and a southbound right turn lane at the intersection of Lexington Avenue and Woodland Parkway in the city of Blaine.
Is there an offer for the resolution?
I'll offer the resolution.
Resolution has been offered by Commissioner West. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Meissner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Next, I would recommend approval of a resolution authorizing the county engineer to acquire the property at 6101 Centerville Road in the city of Lino Lakes.
And I will offer the resolution. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Meissner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item.
Next, I would recommend that we authorize the county engineer to advertise for bids on the 2019 countywide overlay program.
Is there a motion to approve?
So
I'll move
moved.
it.
Second.
Okay, so it's been moved by Commissioner West, second by Commissioner Schulte. Further discussion?
Madam Chair, I would just comment that, again, this is a very robust program. We've stepped it up the last number of years and continue to do so here. And maybe we want to turn to Doug and see if he has anything he might want to add on this project.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Schulte, County Board members, my name is Doug Fisher. I'm Transportation Division Manager and County Engineer. Yes, once again, we're looking at, as Commissioner Schulte said, a very robust program. This program includes a mill and overlay where we just mill 2 inches of the asphalt off and put 2 inches back. That's mostly in urban areas where we have curb and gutter and other structures in the pavement. In the more rural areas, we actually grind up the entire pavement, relay that as an aggregate base, and then put a thicker layer of hot mix back on top, depending on traffic volumes. Again, a lot of these projects in the urban areas will be also fixing the deteriorated curb and gutters. We'll make sure that the pedestrian ramps are ADA compliant. We look at catch basins and manholes that have deteriorated. So it's more than just a pavement resurfacing. In the rural areas on some of these 2-lane roads, we try and squeeze a little extra shoulder out if we don't have our full 6 or 8 foot shoulders that we would normally like. We do add some turn lanes and bypass lanes at problematic intersections as well. So it's more than just a pavement preservation program. We are also looking at doing some safety improvements on these corridors as well. So again, with this permission, again, we're still probably about a month away from actually going out the door with our advertisement, but we will be getting that out early and probably receiving bids in the April timeframe, so this work can be done this summer and this fall.
And Madam Chair, as a follow-up, I would just remind people that this has been a brutal winter so far, and not just for you, but for your roads. The ice damming you see on your house and the icicles hanging, and that same moisture is getting into our pavements. So these roads are going to be really, people on these roads will be really happy because they're going to get new roads, but a lot of roads are going to blow up this spring, and there will be some additions to this. It won't be on this contract, but we're going to have additional roads that need work. Be patient with us. Our crews are already working massive overtime hours plowing your roads and moving snow and doing everything they have to do, and that will continue through the spring and summer because of this winter. So Doug, thanks to you and your team. Great work, and To our residents, please be patient. We'll keep plugging away.
And Madam Chair?
Yes.
You know, I would say that over the years, because of ongoing high investment in our pavement, our pavements actually are in probably as good a shape as they've ever been. Again, the ones that are in this year's program are at the end of their useful life. But even that, I think, you know, we're able to stay on top of these better. And again, we don't do worse the first. You know, we do have to treat those high-speed, high-volume roads a little. We have to maintain those in a higher shape. If we have 20,000 vehicles a day on a 55-mile-an-hour road, one pothole is going to get hit 20,000 times. So, you know, we do have to maintain those in the lower volume. But even then, we really, our pavement quality index has continuously increased. The number of poor rated pavements is almost non-existent. So we are in a mode now where we are treating these roads with the right treatment at the right time. We're even doing a new treatment that's not a part of this, but it is a resurfacing. We'll be doing a microsurfacing on Bunker Lake Boulevard, Round Lake Boulevard, Main Street in the Riverdale area. In addition to this, again, trying to get the right treatment on the right road at the right time to maximize or lower our expenditures and maximize the life of our payments. And I think with the investment that this county board has given to this program over the years, I think we're situated very, very well. So thank you.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
I would recommend authorizing the county engineer to negotiate a joint powers agreement with the city of Blaine for the installation of a traffic control signal system at the intersection of Lexington Avenue and Woodland Parkway in the city of Blaine.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, I would recommend we authorize the county engineer to negotiate a joint powers agreement with the city of Blaine for the installation of a traffic control signal system at the intersection of Radisson Road and Xylite Street, and advanced warning and flashing yellow arrow improvements to the existing traffic control signal system at the intersection of Radisson Road and 101st Avenue, all in the city of Blaine.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that one.
Okay. I will second it. Further discussion?
I would just comment that we've studied this intersection for quite some time at the request of both the community and Commissioner West, and it's finally at the point where it does meet all the necessary warrants. The city of Blaine is gung-ho to get this done, and we're in support as well, so we're anxious for its installation and completion.
Okay, fantastic. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And lastly, in our transit division, I would recommend that authorize the transit program coordinator to work with the public information officer here in Anoka County to create the Anoka County Transit Facebook page. And I would just comment that this is a new foray into Facebook for our transit division, and I think it's beneficial for transit users to have one more place to access information on how best to get around Anoka County using transit. With that, I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? I would just comment that we have a protocol and so forth that is set out for folks to follow when they have a Facebook page set up for the various departments. So certainly this would be in compliance with that as well. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, the balance of my report is informational, and that concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. And I would just comment and really echo what Commissioner Schulte said was thank you to your crews who have been out there. I know it has been a really long February for them. They have been out there working round the clock, very long hours, when the snow is over, everybody thinks that they're kind of done. They're not. They're out there still working 12-hour days, clearing their bridge decks, removing snow, getting ready for really the next snow event so that they will have room to put the snow. And it was even recognized on Twitter by one of our local state senators as well, just really saying thank you, proud of the work that your crew has done. So
Thank you. I will pass that along. They're doing an exceptional job. Thank you.
absolutely.
And Madam Chair, I guess I'm not quite done with my report, because I did want to mention that some of the crew, the Highway Division, took Saturday morning off to jump in Crooked Lake. The opportunity to join them, led by our illustrious leader, Doug Fisher, and a number of his staff, all in high-vis yellow, jumped into the frigid waters of Crooked Lake for the benefit of the Special Olympics of Minnesota. And thank Doug for your leadership on that, and thanks for inviting me to get cold with you.
It was our pleasure.
Commissioner, we should have had the pictures because they were priceless. So yeah, definitely, thank you. Great cause, great leadership, and I think it's just one example of where our employees don't just work here, they give back to the community in so many different ways, and I think that that's just a prime example of that, and appreciate your leadership in that. So one more transportation-related item that's not on the agenda. Just want to let everybody know that the state representatives legislative hearing will be of the Transportation Committee. So the House of Representatives Transportation Committee will be March 1st, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Blaine City Hall. So it is a great opportunity to go let legislators know the importance of some of the roadways within Anoka County that really need to be addressed. And I know, Doug, you will be there
Yes.
testifying as well.
Yes, I will.
So want to make sure folks were aware of that. All right, thank you. Now we'll move on to Finance and Capital Improvements Committee report. Commissioner Look.
Madam Chair, thank you. The Finance and Capital Improvements Committee met on February 19th. We came away with a few action items here. The first one is the committee recommends the county board approve contract C007006 with Circe Corporation out of Utah for a 7-year agreement for integrated library system software maintenance, support, and training. This is a program that we currently already use in our library systems, and this renewal of contract is a decrease, from what I understand, from what it was previous years. So have that before us.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Madam Chair, the second item is the committee recommends the county board approve an adjustment to the Parks Capital Improvement Plan and a 2019 budget amendment in the amount of $250,000 for building improvements and equipment acquisition related to Parks Chamonix Golf Course operations. Despite the fact that it's snowy outside, we are preparing for a successful golf season coming up here. And as will be noted in the background information there's about $89,000 in clubhouse siding, restroom about $40,000, contingency of $26,000 for some small items for $7,000. But as it relates to the equipment, looking at replacing a fairway mower, large area seeder, radio communications, and floating irrigation pump replacement. So these are some deferred maintenance that was out there on the golf course, and we are getting caught up with that with this item. So
I will move approval. Is there a second?
second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Madam Chair, the third item is the committee recommends the county board approve contract C006889 with Minnesota Roadways out of Shakopee for the completion of the 2019 chip seal pavement project for an amount not to exceed $259,400. There's information on what's being covered here. As far as the Blaine Human Service Center, about $8,000 there. There's about, for the library is about $15,000. Parking lot maintenance is approximately $76,000. And the big ticket item was the gun range parking lot upgrade, which years ago we had built a new facility out there to better serve our law enforcement for training purposes, and made some investment in the targeting systems and bullet trap system as well out there. All that's been working well. The part that we didn't complete at that time was the parking lot, and the city of Coon Rapids gave us some leeway in not completing that, but as according to city ordinance requires that to be completed at some time. So this is catching up with that in terms of paving that and providing curb and gutter and the driveway going in as well. There was some concern, I know we had an open house over there, that when it got wet, that the new facility was under duress, you might say, in terms of the amount of soiling that was occurring from the boots and that bringing it in. So this will help curb some of those issues and potentially allow us to get quite a few more years out of that facility. So,
Is there a motion to approve?
So move. Second. Sorry.
Okay, so moved by Commissioner Schulte, second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
aye.
Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, the rest is for informational purposes. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to Human Services Committee report. And I actually have just one action item, and that is Resolution 29 HS3, approving economic assistance actions and payments. I will offer that resolution. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we will move on to committee appointments. The item is to consider appointing the following individuals to the Emergency Medical Services Council for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2021. John Berg, representing Fire Service, David Madison, representing Medical Transportation, and Marissa Wickman, representing Hospitals and Clinics. Is there a motion to approve item 9A?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the county board? If not, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, and we'll convene our